As part of the Yes It Matters Addressing Systemic Racism campaign, profiles of leaders and Heritage Month highlights are recognized to share the diversity and work within labor and our communities. We have selected the following 4 individuals for this year's Black History Month Profiles of Recognition, one of them who we just heard from. We continue to be inspired by all your work. Feel free to shout out leaders and individuals you want to acknowledge in the chat. Karen Brown is the president of the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario. With her August 20th, 2021 election win, she became the first Black president to be elected to a provincial teacher affiliate union in Ontario, and the first known Black president to be elected to a provincial teacher affiliate union in Canada. Karen previously served as ETFO's first vice president from 2015 to 2021. She was first elected to the union's provincial executive in 2009. Karen's activism goes beyond the labor movement, with entrenched roots in the community. She is the founder and past president of Single Mothers Inspiring Leadership in Education, also known as SMILE, providing support to single mothers engaged in educational pursuits. As a teacher, Karen saw firsthand the inequities that exist in our social system. Moved by what she saw, she took steps to offset the detrimental impacts of food insecurity, lack of affordable housing, and how precarious work affects children living in poverty. In doing so, Karen took the fight for justice and inclusion beyond the classroom and into the community. Thank you, Karen. Gary Peters is a principal in Ontario's public education system and past president of the Urban Alliance on Race Relations. In 2021, Gary was cross-appointed as a part-time commissioner for the Ontario Human Rights Commission and a board member for the Human Rights Legal Support Centre. He has been featured by Black in Canada and the University of Toronto's Boundless campaign. In 2013, Gary was recognized by Canadian Broadcasting Corporation for his leadership. He has been invited several times to share his views on current social topics as a guest commenter on CBC TV. In his professional and community life, Gary brings a systemic lens with high impact, thought, and action-oriented leadership to better respond to the increasingly complex human rights landscape of the society in which we live, learn, lead, work, and find leisure. Thank you, Gary. Hodan A Muhammad is President-elect of CUPE Local 2137 and a Senior United Nations Fellow, focusing on employment equity and access in Ontario. Hodan has over 10 years of professional experience theorizing, developing, discussing, and implementing design thinking, focusing on gender and racial equity, community engagement, facilitation, consultative leadership, and youth mentorship. This encompasses providing strategic advice to government and nonprofits while providing practical and actionable initiatives towards institutional change. Her published work addresses the UN Decade for People of African Descent, immigration policies, policing and criminalization of vulnerable communities, including the intersection of anti-Black racism and Islamophobia. Thank you, Hodan. Abdellah Idris is a labor and community activist and organizer with Unite Here Local 75, where he supports hotel and food service workers in the fight against injustice, incursion on his union, and discrimination. He is a co-chair of the Toronto and York Region Labor Council's Eritrean and Ethiopian Workers Network, and a graduate of the Labor Community Advocate Training Program. He promoted the program, which he credits with advancing his work in his union and his community, to his union executive with the hope others may also benefit. Realizing that the conversion of hotels into condominiums was a scheme that eroded good union jobs, Abdellah joined the campaign to fight against the conversions. A former tenant representative with the Toronto Community Housing Lawrence Heights, Abdellah is a longtime advocate of rent-to-own programs that would allow low-income people to own homes. As a parent, Abdellah is also a supporter of public education and believes that children in low-income neighborhoods must receive quality education. He helped establish a tenant-led homework club that supported students in all subject areas, including French. Politically, he helped pressure elected leaders on education matters and actively recruited candidates to run in local elections. In the early 90s, Abdellah spearheaded a program for youth activism in the Eritrean community. The program provided education on mental health, physical health, and safety. He introduced unionized skilled trades to youth and others in the Eritrean community as opportunities for earning a living wage. Thank you, Abdellah. Thank you for all the work you all do within the labor movement and community, making an impact throughout all sectors. For more profiles or to learn more about the Yes It Matters Addressing Systemic Racism campaign, please visit www.laborcommunityservices.ca.